Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jada Gray, and yes, the videos are back. Yes, we're doing these videos again. Today, we're going to be doing the northern half of US 1 in Maine. I don't even know why I'm doing this because there's literally nothing in the northern half. But I did say I was going to cover this series in full, so I'm going to have to do the northern half. Anyways, here we're actually starting in Canada. Like, this is close to the bridge between Clare, New Brunswick, and Fort Kent, Maine, where US 1 actually begins. Here is our first mention of US 1, and we get Fort Kent, Maine as our first control city, which I think is fine. That is perfect, because there is nothing in this northern half. And you can also see right here the bridge to the US, but there's no street view because it's a borderline bridge. So here we go. Here is where US 1 will turn left, and we're meeting Maine Highways 11 and 161, side for Madawaska, Caribou, and Allagash. Allagash is for 161. Madawaska and Caribou are for 1 and 11. Also, where's Alton? I know that's 200 miles, 200 some odd miles from here, but dude, there's literally nothing in this northern half of Maine on US 1. We should be seeing Houghton here. Here is the turn for the University of Fort Kent at University of Maine at Fort Kent, or UMFK. Here is where US 1 and Maine Highway 161 splits off. Here is the woodsy part of US 1 in Maine. Here we are meeting Maine Highway 162, and it is side for St. Agatha, while we're side for Madawaska. You know what? I guess Madawaska is fine since it's closer, and also, Houghton from 200 miles away, 200 plus is crazy for the jump. Here we meet another road to take you to a bridge to Canada, and it is signed for Edmundston, New Brunswick, while we're signed for Van Buren. That is way too small, but I don't know what it should be, so I guess it's fine for now. Here we are meeting US Highway 1A, and it is signed for Limestone, while we're signed for Caribou, and we get another bridge to Canada, this time St. Leonard, New Brunswick, Canada. Here's a proper reassurance shield for US 1. Maine! Why are you supporting Trump? Here we meet Maine Highway 161 again, this time without control cities. Hooray! Here we are meeting Maine Highway 89, and it is signed for Limestone, and we're signed Caribou and Presque Isle? I hope I pronounced that right. But also, if Maine Highway 89 was signed for Limestone, is the one going to Limestone, why would US 1 sign for Limestone? That makes no sense. Why? Here, US 1 sees 4 lanes for the first time ever. Here we meet Maine Highway 161 a third time. What is going on with this highway? We done met this highway 3 times. Here is downtown Presque Isle, which is the town we saw in the mileage slide. Pretty nice downtown, I must say. Here in Monticello, Maine, more like Monticello, Maine, we're on probably the straightest section of US 1 that will probably ever be on. Here in Holton, we meet Interstate 95, and it is time for Holton, Woodstock, New Brunswick, and Bangor. Now, Bangor is perfect. Holton and Woodstock, I do not agree with. That should be Fredericton. Or better yet, the Trans-Canada Highway. Sign the Trans-Canada Highway. I know that's the Kentucky treatment, but that would be perfectly fine. I would sign the Trans-Canada Highway here for northbound 95, because evidently that's where it's going. And also, since we do have time, we can also cover the southern half too. Here we are meeting US 2, which is next after I do US 1, and it is time for Woodstock, New Brunswick, Bangor, and US 2 is time for Island Falls. Okay. If you're gonna sign I-95 for Bangor, you have to sign US 1 for something else. But I guess it's fine though. Anyways, let's continue. Here we are meeting US Highway 2A, and that mileage sign in the distance right there, it's perfect for it. And we're still signing Woodstock, New Brunswick, but now we're signing Celsius. Sorry, but dude, that is terrible. At this point, I'd just rather see a Orano here. Here, US 1 and 2 split without control cities. Here in Danforth, we meet Maine Highway 169 without control cities. If you're gonna sign a control city for US 1, please sign Augusta. Here's Calates, Maine, basically another border town. So, from this point on, I'm just not going to show any more border towns. But let's actually see what our next control city is. What the Machias is our next control city. Really? That's crazy. No, I'm not showing it. We're just going straight to whatever. Here we are meeting Main Highway 3 for Belfast and Augusta, which is perfect. And US 1 is signed for Camden, Rockland. No! Not Camden! Why? Why are we signing Camden? That should be Portland. I know that's still far, but come on. Dude, anything but Camden, please. Here is downtown Rockland, and looks like we get a mention of Main Highway 73. Here as we are crossing the Sagadahoc Bridge into Bath, Maine, we're beating Main Highway 205 for 209 for Bath and Phippsburg, and we get US 1 sign Brunswick and Portland. Thank you, Maine. Thank you. That should have been signed a long time ago. Here we meet our first child route of this long 2,000 plus journey of US 1. US Highway 201 for Brunswick and Topsham, which it's perfect. And no pull through for US 1, but I would imagine our control city is Portland. Here we are meeting Interstate 295, and this won't be our only 295. And it's signed for, but this one is signed for Topsham and Augusta, while 295 South is signed for Freeport and Portland. Also, But notice how we don't get any signage of US 1, and it's running concurrent with 295 at this point. Here's where US 1 splits off, and then it's time for Yarmouth. Wow, man. So we like being inconsistent? No continuity, man? Okay. Let's see how it is. Here we meet Interstate 295 again after just splitting off from it, and then it's time for Cumberland and Portland. No, that Cumberland should be Augusta. Why are we signing Cumberland? Also, how did I get to Maryland this early? Here, US 1 will be concurrent with I-295 again, and I don't know for how long this time. Here we are meeting US Highway 302 and Maine Highway 100 for Forest Avenue, and we get 295 and US 1 side through traffic. Why are we not signed Portsmouth or Boston? Or Portsmouth and Boston, because we can't skip New Hampshire. But why it's Boston, not our main control city? Boston should be on there. Here, US 1 splits for Main Street, and 295 is signed south for South Portland and Scarborough. Okay, US 1 should be signed for Portland, 295 should be signed for Boston. Let's do that, man. Here we are meeting Interstate 195, aka the main freeway that shouldn't exist. Here we are crossing over the York River, and that bridge over there in the distance is the Maine Turnpike or Interstate 95. Here's a cool look at downtown Kittery, Maine, and that sign right there. We finally get Portsmouth, New Hampshire as our control city. Thank you, Maine. Thank you. Here we are crossing over the Memorial Bridge from Maine to New Hampshire. I'm not kidding. The bridge is actually called the Memorial Bridge. And we don't get a welcome to New Hampshire sign, but this is where we're going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching.